Hello, everybody. This is Getrude Matshe here in Wellington, New Zealand. It is an absolute honor to be connecting with you wherever you are in the world. A lot of you are aware that I've been really excited this year about all the speaking opportunities, the training opportunities that are going to be available for women worldwide. And it's an absolute honor to be hosting this webinar with Gail Watson, all the way in Canada. Welcome, Gail.
Hi, great to be here.
And Gail is the president and chairperson of the Women Speakers Association, a dynamic organization that is empowering women to stand up and be heard. So Gail, thank you for taking the time to share with me today. I first of all would love you to tell us a little bit about the Women Speakers Association and why it was formed.
Sure. Women Speakers Association was born, actually our 7-year birthday was January 11th. So we're 7 years in, but 7 years ago, myself and some others, we are in the event industry. And we started seeing really big shifts going on within our industry. We started noticing that it was getting harder to fill events. We were noticing a lot of men up on those stages, and we were wondering, where are the women? We started to see great shifts in the audience. The audiences really stopped wanting to run to the back of the room, drop a lot of money on quick fix type things. And they also started truly, they were demanding value. That's what was going on. And we really feel the internet has a big play in this because information is so easily accepted, easily accessible in today's world. So with that, we were having the conversation that there had to be new ways to be found in this industry, to get up on those stages, and to make money. And because those stages were truly designed for those who knew how to market themselves or could afford to market themselves. Yeah. So 7 years ago, we did launch with just that conversation. We put in a 6-month goal of reaching 500 people. It was reasonable. What happened though, within 3 weeks, we actually surpassed that goal of reaching 500 people. And those 500 people were distributed among 80 different countries.
Wow.
And therefore, the map behind me, I keep this map behind me as a grounding tool because it was from day one that we were given that message that this is global. This is a global conversation. So we didn't really know what it was in terms of what Women Speakers Association was at that time. But we knew there had to be new ways to get found. There had to be new ways to get booked. There had to be new ways to make money in it. And we knew that women would be at the forefront of this. And we fast forward into today's world. We are now in 120 countries with over 14,000 members. It is truly a demonstration of a collaborative community. The number one question we have always asked right from day one, from those initial first 500 members is, what do you need? It is still our leading question today. So anything you see within Women Speakers Association has been born from the ideas, the contribution of our members today.
Wow, fantastic. And I can see why you grew so fast because, I only met you a few weeks ago. And in these few weeks, I created a Facebook group. For those of you who don't know and who aren't a member already, it is open to women worldwide. The group is called African and Minority Speakers, Authors, Poets, and Storytellers. So if you fall in that category, it doesn't matter which part of the world you're in, please join the group because we grew from 100 women 2 weeks ago when I first met you to over 1,000. We have about 1,038 members just like that within less than a month. So I'm really excited about that. So tell me a little bit about what your organization offers, say, for example, in terms of training. A lot of people lack the confidence to get up on stage. They lack the confidence to find ways to pitch themselves for speaking opportunities? What kind of training can we expect?
Well, the type of training you can expect here, we have a series called Speaker Success Training that we host webinars monthly that will go in depth on various trainings. We also have a Speaker Success podcast for those of you who like to download podcasts. Same type of deal there, where we have one-on-one interviews with specific trainers, and a variety of other channels, our blog and through different interviews. But what we train on is, listen, the speaking business is vast, and there's several techniques that people can use. But who we serve, we serve as entrepreneurs. It's women just like you who have that message, who's building and the passion to build a business around their idea. Mm-hmm. So, and you're choosing speaking to market your business. And that's a very good thing, because the power is absolutely in front of the room. But there are things that happen in this business that can help grow your business. And what we're bringing to you is the most current, quickest points to help you do that. So it's not only just serving your speaking needs, but it's serving the growth of your business. And if I look at just what's coming up in our next few months, I have my list right here. Some of the topics coming up are generating more leads and prospects, building your list, getting more speaking engagements, building marketing funnels, increasing your conversion in sales, creating strategic alliances. These are just samples of what it takes when you look at your business, creating those different funnels, creating those other products, how to reach more. The internet is your friend. You don't have to hop on a plane. As you know, growing 1,000 people in 2 weeks, it can be very, very quick, just like us. 500 people in 3 weeks, 80 countries. That's the internet helping you. So there's right ways to do it and not so right ways to do it. And we want to push you out the best ways. And, don't have to reinvent the wheel.
And I guess part of your training as well, especially with regards to getting the paid speaking opportunities, is I guess teaching people how much they're worth. When I started in my speaking career, I had no idea the value that I brought to different organizations when I spoke. And I undersold myself a lot until I got a speaking opportunity in Florida, where they asked me how much I charged, and I had no idea how much to charge. So I called my father in Zimbabwe and I said, Dad, I've got this opportunity, have no idea how much to charge them. What should I say? And my dad gave me the best advice he's ever given me. He said to me, Getrude, you're in New Zealand, and the fact that this organization has contacted you from Florida means they've seen something in you that's of value. So close your eyes, think of a number, ask for what you want. And because I had nothing to lose, I asked for $15,000 for my 1-hour keynote. Within 2 hours, I got a response. They said yes. So I faxed them my contract, and I'm paid a deposit of 50% when I get a booking, and the balance when I've done the job. 2 days later, there's $15,000 in my bank account. So I called the woman thinking she had made a mistake, because I meant New Zealand dollars. She thought I meant US dollars. And with the exchange rate, I made $30,000 in an hour. So,
well, I think you should answer that question then.
But the moral of the story is, with an organization like WSA, you get to hear stories like this from other women on how to do it, how to pitch yourself and present yourself in such a way that your value is shown on paper. Yeah. So my next question for you, Gail, is what kind of contacts do we get within the organization? What kind of women have been attracted to your organization up till now? And how
well, great ones just like you. Great ones just like you. We have everyone in here, and I mean it. We have within political leaders, CEOs, people just starting out, people that have been homemakers and that are now exploring their passion and wanting to get their voice out there. So from the vets who've been around 35 plus years and have that confidence and that stability in who they are, to our fresh messages just coming out of the gate. Nothing I like meeting more is a woman who has decided to step out and into her message, because it's not about age. It's not about where you live, and it's all about the belief in your message that it is so powerful, and it is time now for you to get it out. You've been gifted that message for a reason, for a purpose, to create change, to influence and have that impact in other people's lives, and you need to get it out. And so that's what everybody in this community is on that page. So the only people who join into Women Speakers Association is of that belief, but we're just all in different parts of the journey, and we have a very strong belief that there's no one greater than someone else based on years of experience or not. We are all here to support one another. We share our resources. So on calls, you show up. Sometimes you're the mentor. You're providing advice. And sometimes you're the mentee, where you're that sponge and you're just taking it all in and learning and going, oh, that's all it was. So that's the you will find everyone in here. It's surprising, actually.
Wow.
I love it. Love it.
Fantastic. So everybody who's listening to this call, please put in your questions in the chat. I'm not going to attend to them right now. We'll answer all your questions afterwards. I want you to bombard us with questions that are coming up as we're speaking, because we really want you to get the best out of this webinar so that you get to understand what the Women's Association is all about. So one of the things that I found when I signed up, so please go onto the website. Can you give us the website address again?
Yeah, it's www.women with MOWMEN speakers with an S association.com. So womenspeakersassociation.com.
So sign up, become a member. And the one beautiful thing that I found when I signed up was the success journal. So we are at the beginning of the
success plan.
Yes, the success plan, sorry. We are at the beginning of the year right now, where you are setting goals for where you want to be in 2018. And when I downloaded that document, it gave me a pathway to set milestones and goals for myself in terms of what I want to achieve. So imagine coming back to this date, the 11th of January in New Zealand, 2019, and reading through your journal and seeing what you've actually achieved. They say that when you want to change your life, you have to write it down on a piece of paper, then it becomes part of physical reality. But writing it down is not enough. You have to take some action steps. And this success plan helps you put those action steps in place. And when you hit your milestones and your goals, plan a celebration. Go out with your girlfriends, have a party, do something big, because unless you celebrate each of your little achievements, it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. So Gail, what else would you like our members to know before we wrap up? This has been absolutely awesome. As you can see, I can't even speak. I'm so excited I have you on this call.
You're so much fun. It's been such a joy getting to know you. When you were speaking about that, the Speaker Success Plan, it is a great, it's the foundation of coming into Women's Speakers Association, because we all come in with different levels of experience, knowledge, things we have, things we don't have. So it really allows us the opportunity to create an offer, take an inventory, what we have and what we don't have. And then also to be able to put down goals, because we actually, one of the action items there is we invite you to share those goals, because we want to be part of them. The one thing I know as an entrepreneur is that the success rate, it's being an entrepreneur, you might have already experienced this, can be a lonely journey. Yeah. You know, you're on your own, you have this great idea, you're super excited, you're busy building up your business and getting ready for your launch and to find those customers. It can be lonely because there are things that we need to do along the way. And as an entrepreneur, we're wearing all the different hats, from accounting to marketing to sales to customer service. You're doing it all. And you're expected to grow your business while fulfilling your clients' needs.
Yeah.
So as a community, I think one of the biggest, well, it's actually one of the number one reasons people join Women Speakers Association is they join for visibility. Okay, our
Mhm.
whole membership is structured around visibility. The second thing is why they stay, why we've had members for over 6 years
Mm.
is the value of the community.
Yeah.
And I actually see that strengthening. I see the resources, I see the love, the compassion that people share. I see those questions, those conversations happening in the private premier Facebook group when people are asking something like, oh, how do you, I'm looking for a microphone to do a podcast. What's the best one? Something simple like that. And you can get about 30 comments coming in to say, oh, I use this because of this reason. So we accelerate those timelines of learning, and you're going to other entrepreneurs who are just like you with tight budgets that have already done that research and sharing it. So we have no other agenda to one another. We don't know each other, that, we're not personal friends. We are just here on the same journey. We are just like you. We have a message inside of us that all we want to do is get out. And that's where I really see the support and the collaboration coming from this community. I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and I've already found that. I mean, since I signed up, I have had one-on-one contact with 4, 5, almost 6 different members. And what I felt was it's a place where people give more than they take.
Mm-hmm.
I had posted that I'm going to be having these women's speaker summits throughout the world. I have 5 events in Africa. So far we have Cape Town, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Egypt, and Uganda. And I have other events in New Mexico, USA, in Sweden. Oh gosh, what are my other 2 countries? But I'll give you the list. And I posted into the premiere section 2 days ago. And immediately there were women who stepped up and said, Getrude, I'd love to support this in some way. So let's talk a little bit about the bridge that we are trying to gap between women in the developing world and women in the developed world, and how we can help each other there.
Yeah, and that's always been in our heart to do that. It was after meeting you and your connection and your true passion, and you're already doing that for all the work that you're doing in those developing areas. And while we have a robust group of entrepreneurial women and corporate women here, what you just said, they are giving. They do give more than they receive. A lot of, and that's just who women are, right?
Yes.
And it was through our conversations of finding ways, exploring ways on how that bridge could be built, where developing countries could, women in those countries could develop with women who have gone before them in the more developed parts of the world, so that we can connect. And the internet allows us to do this, and it allows us to share our expertise and take the hand of another and showcase. I remember speaking to a woman, oh, now I forget the name of the country she was in. It was in an Eastern Africa part, and it was sad. She had this dream, she had these ideas, and I said, wow, that's great, go for it. But she couldn't. There was a suppression on her. Whether that suppression, we talked about this too, about that suppression, whether it comes from the governments, whether it comes from the culture. But many women on this planet don't get the opportunity to allow that light to shine bright. They have it.
Yeah, it's there.
It is shining. It is there. And wouldn't it be great if we could help pull that out, where we bypass governments, where we bypass those cultures, and we connect, and just on our own power of who we are, getting to know women in other parts of the world, all around. It is fantastic. This, I mean, one, we allow their light to shine bright. We have to get to know one another on this planet. We have to support, love each other, show that compassion, and remove any judgments. And it's one thing I love about Women Speakers Association. When I say Women Speakers Association, I mean the community of women in here, because that's who Women Speakers Association is. When you say, who is it?
Yeah.
It is the women in here. And the compassion, there's no judgment. It's not about politics. It's not about race. It's not about religion. It doesn't even come into conversation. So it is just, who are you? What do you need? Let's do this, right?
Yeah. And you know, you touched on something that's so pivotal for me in terms of how do we economically empower each other from a distance through this virtual platform called the internet. The world is literally flat now. And the vision and the dream that I have is in 2018 to empower a minimum of 1,000 women to not only stand up, speak and be heard and get paid for doing it, but also to publish their stories. I believe that books are doors into other people's lives and other people's worlds. And that every single challenge that the universe has ever thrown at you was something for you to learn from and to teach. So you can empower another woman who might be going through the same struggle.
Yes.
So don't go to your grave with your stories, whether you speak it, whether you sing it, whether you dance it, whether you tell a story, whatever way you're going to express it, do not take it to your grave. The graveyards are full of brilliant people, amazing women who went to their graves with their stories. So this is an opportunity for you to shine, like Gail said, and be heard and be seen. And not only that, be paid for doing it and have fun while we do it as well. So Gail, I do not have the words to thank you for the opportunity of what you have created. I almost feel like crying as I speak to you right now, because the other day I told you that when I met you, I felt like you were the missing piece that I needed to really make a difference. Whew. So thank you.
And thank you, because that your words moved me greatly. And I said back to you, you too are our missing piece. And naming you the bridge, you're the golden bridge to cross. And I really believe you are the link. And because you've stepped forward and you have bridged the gap for women and bridging what you're doing for women in these developing countries, to the minorities to be able to get up and raise their voice and make a living is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
and there is a need for us to step up. There is a need. Organizations are looking for diversity, diverse speakers to be heard. Women, whether you're black, white, green, or blue, it doesn't matter. We need to be heard. This is our time. And Women Speakers Association is there to help and facilitate for these dreams to come true. So keep posting those questions. I can see questions are pouring in, more than we can cope with on this call, but we will get back to you and give you more information. Go onto the womenspeakersassociation.com and sign up. Sign up now. If you can, sign up as a premier member, because then you're really upping your game. It's not that expensive. And I have a lot of friends in New Zealand, Australia, all the women who took part in the Women's Economic Forum in New Mexico, Grenada, and I know a lot of you globally. This is an opportunity for you to really change your game for 2018. So Gail, unless there's anything else you want to add, thank you so much for taking the time to connect with us today.
Thank you. And I'll come in there as well and answer any questions you have as soon as we're off the call. And I'll get in there and type away as madly as I can. So open book, whatever you want to know.
Thank you so much, Gail.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. More to come. Just watch this space. Share this video to your colleagues, your friends, your daughters. We want millennial speakers, young women that we can mentor and coach so that they can be the next generation that carries on our stories so we can bring about a massive change in women's lives globally. Thanks so much. Bye for now.